Now to this month's Read with Jenna book club author Diane Marie Brown.
Her debut novel is called Black Candle Women, and we're going to talk to Diane all about it in a moment. But first, a little more about this spellbinding story. At the beginning of Black Candle Women, we meet 3 generations of Montrose women living together in a quaint California bungalow. They depend only on each other and the unspoken bond of magic between them. That is until Nikki, the youngest family member, brings home her first love interest. As their family secrets slowly reveal themselves, each woman is forced to face up to her past decisions, dating all the way back to a tiny storefront in 1950s New Orleans. Can the women work together to undo a decades-old curse? Or will they be torn apart, destined never to love again? Ooh, Diane, those that haven't read it are picking it up right now. Good morning. We also want to say hey to all of our Read with Jenna members joining us this morning. I think they're all from New Orleans, too, so this is so much fun. Diane, we've talked about this a lot, but this is your debut novel.
Yes.
And it's a long time coming, right?
It has been. I started this over 10 years ago. I finished it over 10 years ago and, didn't find an agent. I revised and tried again. And an opportunity came up, and I found a great editor and a great agent through an open call, which is not really a traditional way that books get published. And it all came together. So I just think it was timing, I think, is very important. And it found you, which was wonderful, and so I think this was the right time for the book.
It's so interesting that you had something written and you shopped it. Like, I think this is good, but people told you it wasn't good. Otherwise, they would have published it.
Yeah.
Right.
What did that do to your confidence? Did you think, well, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was?
Definitely questioned, you know, my abilities, and was this dream never going to happen? Do I need to? I had started working on something else and had put this away, but I just really loved these women. They kept coming back to me, and so that's why I couldn't let the story go.
You're right about timing.
Yes,
it's happening right on time. By the way, we don't always have big breaking news on this program, but we do today. Big breaking news: you and Jenna are going to turn your incredible book into a TV show.
Yes.
We are.
With Carla Waddles, who is an incredible writer. She did Fresh Prince. She is doing Fresh Prince right now.
Wait a minute.
On Peacock. So we get to work with her.
So who are you guys casting? What's happening?
Oh, well, we don't. Do you have any ideas?
Well, Mary J. Let's call her.
She was just on.
Wait,
why didn't we ask her?
We're going to take her to Nobu and we'll figure it all out. Okay.
Oh, she would be great.
You know, so many women probably quit on their dreams. They think, people have said no enough.
Yes.
What kept you going?
Well, writing is just something that I just enjoy. You know, I have a day job or a couple of day jobs. I work as a professor. I'm a public health professional, which I love those jobs as well. But you can have more than one dream. You can do more than one thing. But writing is something that always makes me happy. And so when I would go back and I develop these stories, I felt in a comfortable place. And so that's why I felt compelled to just keep going.
Wow. We're so glad you did. We're so glad you did. Well, you're going to stick around. We've got some beautiful viewers from New Orleans who have got some questions for you. We'll do that right after the break. So good. So good, Diane. And we're back with this month's Read with Jenna author Diane Marie Brown. Her debut novel, it is called Black Candle Women.
Okay, since New Orleans is kind of a character in this novel, we invited some of our readers from Baldwin and Company Bookstore in NOLA to join us on Zoom. They've got some questions for you, Diane. I love that we have some New Orleans readers.
Yes.
Our first question is from Farah, and it's about mother and daughter relationships. Hi, Farah.
Hello. First, I want to say I absolutely love this book. And my question is, Victoria's fraught relationship with Madeline is clearly evident, yet she continues to give her mother grace throughout the story. What I want to know is, why was it important to you to show this side of Victoria? And what do you hope others who may be dealing with this same type of relationship will glean from this aspect of the story?
Such a good question.
Yes, thanks for that question. So yes, mother-daughter relationships are complicated, and so in this story we have a few different mother-daughter relationships. And so Victoria's mother, Madeline, has she's disappointed her, she's taken advantage of her, and she's coming back into her life, and I think she doesn't want to give her grace, but the other women in the family do so, and I think that allows her to let herself open up and allow her back into the family. But it's really about forgiveness is really what I wanted to share, you know, the value and importance of forgiveness for the person who is doing the forgiving.
I mean, this, by the way, this book for Mother's Day, I know we're still a bit out, but it's so much about the love of what we pass down and what we carry.
Speaking of daughters,
yes,
I think your two daughters are right. I mean, we have to shout them out.
There they are.
We can kind of, there you are. Well, we see you guys. Happy y'all are here. We've got our next question from Jared. It's about the power of lineage. Hey.
Hey, everyone. So on a really deep level, I think making the choice to center Voodoo and Hoodoo with the women of this book and the city of New Orleans is not something to be taken lightly when one considers who you are and your lineage. Can you discuss the power of home, lineage, and remembrance and how they helped you conceive this story?
Wow, what a great question.
It is, yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time in New Orleans when I was young. We would travel there. That's where my family's from, and we spent a lot of time there. And so I definitely want to bring that as an element into the story. But something that I thought about when writing the story is just the things that we pass on. We pass, of course, our genetics, but our decisions impact future generations in ways that we can't really fathom. And so I think about decisions that my ancestors made that shaped me and things that I do right now in my life that shape my, grandchildren. And in this story, we see those things pass along. These characters, they just happen to pass along the spirituality of voodoo and the craft of hoodoo as a part of their lineage.
Didn't you find a book or something that kind of was the catalyst for that part of the story?
Yes. So I read a book about hoodoo, a few, including some of the work of Zora Neale Hurston.
Yeah.
But just that really inspired a lot of the ideas that I had.
Wait, you have a couple book recommendations, right?
Yes, there's some similar stories. There's a book by a woman named E.M. Tran called Daughters of the New Year that I really enjoyed. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, which I think has a similar type of vibe, and a book called What the Fireflies Knew, and All That She Carried by Tia Miles.
Oh, I love those.
All good picks. And by the way, guess what? If you're in New York today, you're really lucky.
Yes, because Diane is going to be doing a special signing at 11 o'clock. So y'all come on down.
6 minutes. Come on.
It's at the shops at NBC Studios, so come in. And for more on Black Candle Women, head to today.com/read with Jenna. Get it wherever you buy your books, or possibly that wonderful independent bookstore in New Orleans.
You're right. And by the way, it's 49th between 5th and 6th. If you happen to be in Manhattan, if you want to
take a cab, let's go.
The one train and the B and the C.